Is there a link between what your father experienced and what you are doing nowadays?
He thought there was. He used to say, don't worry about shells, that's bad luck, but worry about snipers because they're shooting at you. I remember when I went to Lebanon, that was his advice from a soldier of the Great War to me. Mm-hmm. And he was right, it was correct. His tactic was absolutely strategically correct. But, yeah, I mean, he was a soldier and he was a young man at war, and I started off covering wars when I was 29 years old. And now, 33 years later, I'm still doing the same thing, so I saw more wars than he ever did.
Yeah.
But I didn't learn any more about it than he learned, because there's only one or two lessons about war, and one of them is it's all about death. We gift the dead with qualities they would never have wished to have, like they gave their lives. Very few people give their lives. Most people desperately want to live, and they pray to live, and their families pray that they will live. They didn't sacrifice. It wasn't a suicide death, even though we suggest that in some of the gravestones. And at the end of the day, what was the achievement of this? The end of the British Empire, the bankruptcy of Britain after a Second World War, and the whole generation disappeared. For what? To look after Belgium for you? I'm sure you were very grateful. All British and American soldiers who survived the First World War received a medal which said on the back, the Great War for Civilization. It said 1914 to 1919, because, of course, it finished at the Treaty of Versailles was the end of the First World War. The November 11th was just a ceasefire, an armistice for the time being. And he had that medal, and he used to wear it. He used to go, November 11, he used to go to cemeteries. And after a while, he stopped wearing it. Didn't wear the poppy. Sometimes he went to the cemeteries or the war memorials in Britain. He came to the cemeteries here, of course. He's been to this one. And then he stopped going to the war memorials anymore.
Because he didn't believe in it anymore.
He thought it was show business.
Yeah.
I was interested to see how the losing side commemorates their dead as well as the winning side. I mean, they're all lost, haven't they, because they're buried here. But you often tell a lot about the sort of national characteristics. Most of the German cemeteries in the Middle East are all in black and grey stone. This is exactly the same. 3,000 kilometres away, 70 years earlier, and it's exactly the same. When you have never been in a war, you think it's about victory or defeat, which is the Hollywood version. We won or we lost, right? It's actually about the total failure of the human spirit. It's primarily about death. It's about that. The bones underneath us now. That's what war is about.
Be they German or English or whatever.
Absolutely. I mean, clearly the Germans were the aggressors in the First World War. We know they did commit atrocities in Belgium. There were propaganda stories which were lies, but they did commit atrocities around Louvain, Liège, and so on. And the Nazis were aggressors in World War II, but once they're dead, they're all the same, you know.
Couldn't help but notice that here's a wreath of poppies. It's something everybody
I know what question's coming.
To wear.
Do they so?
Britain.
I notice that the BBC insist that their newsreaders must wear poppies on television. Isn't that amazing? It's an order to wear. You know, you've got to grieve on television. Right? Yeah. That's amazing, isn't it? The poppy is based on a very popular poem by John McCrae, who was a Canadian doctor who died in the war. Actually, he died of pneumonia, but he died in the war. And the theme of this poem is the body is under the Flanders poppies. You see, the poppy is a symbol of Passchendaele and the loss. And so
in Flanders Fields.
In Flanders Fields is what it's called. But the poem ends with the dead speaking to the person. We pass you the torch. Keep fighting the foe, or we will not sleep beneath the fields where poppies grow. Hang on a second. This is a poem which says you must continue war.
Yeah.
So I don't think I want to be associated with the idea of continuing war. I've been in enough wars. I've had lots of friends killed in wars in the Middle East. I don't need poppies to remember them. Thank you very much.
But then most people probably consider it as a symbol for peace.
I've seen more wars than they have.
Yeah.
I promise you.